So, in this next class, what do? We will be looking at how to subtract binary numbers. Now, in the previous class, we looked at how to add binary numbers. So, in this class, it's it's just basically using the same logic in a reverse way. So, yes, assuming you have two numbers and you like to subtract the two numbers from each other, you have 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, and then you want to subtract this number. You want to from this number you like to subtract basically 1, 0, 1, 1. So in this case, how do we go about this? Now, to subtract this number, we have to. So basically, what we have to do is we have to take each, you know, position one at a time. And if we ever get to a point where we notice that, like we have to minus, like something from zero, then we have to figure out how we want to treat this. So first, 1 - 1 is giving you zero, just like the normal, system. And then you have, in this case, you have 1 and 0 - 1, which is now, not possible. So here we have to, basically find how to borrow one from here, right? But then when we borrow the one from here, this becomes zero, and then this becomes two, right? So in this case, because this is like base two, so that becomes two. And then now what we do next is we take 2 - 1, which gives us 1, right? And then 0 - 0, which gives us 0. And then 1 - 1 gives us 0. And then you have 1. And then this is your answer. So this is very important that we know how we treat like the excess. When we borrow from from one of the sides, then we know how it reflects in our partition. So this is the case. So we take another example where we also take we minus another set of numbers. So here we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And then here we have another 1, 1, 0, 1. So here, it's very, very straightforward. In this case, what we have to do, so we just say so for 1 - 1, you have 0, you have 1, and then you have 1 - 1, 0, and then you have 0, you have 1. And then this is your answer, right? So another example could be 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 1, 1, 1. So this is also a very, very interesting example. So here we will take them. So here we say, this is base, and then we say that here we want to take 1 from 0. This is not possible, right? So we decide to borrow 1 from 0, which also is not possible. So basically here what we do is we take 1 from here, which becomes -1, right? This becomes a -1. And then we take this to 2 here, so we take 1, right? But then -1 - 1 is not possible, right? It doesn't make sense that we want to -1. The most important thing is like the one under above is basically having more, is bigger than the one below. So we notice that -1 is not making any sense. Then also we have to borrow 1 from the next case. So here we take another, we take a -1, and then we bring 2 to this place, right? So here we have 2 - 1 - 1, which gives us a 0. Makes sense now. And then in the other case, we have -1 - 1 again. And then so we have to basically look at how we can borrow another one from here, which is giving us -1, and then we bring basically we get a -1 from here, and then we bring 2 to here, right, and then we have -1 -1, 2 -1 -1, which gives us a 0. And then we notice that we have -1 and we can't bring it down, so we basically have to like borrow the last one, and then we take this away, and then we bring this is now 0, and then this is now 2, so we have 2 -1, which gives us 1. So you have so this is another case. And then now we could take another example, which is very, very much similar. Another example could be 1 0 1 0 1 0, right? And then here basically we're also looking at maybe 1 1 1 1 1. So you have 2 here, right? And so here the first thing we try to do is to minus 0 0 minus 1, which it's not possible, and then we decide to borrow 1 from here, and then what we do is we get 0, and then we have 1, right? In this case we have a 0 coming down, and then you have 0 minus 1, sorry. So, and then you have 0 minus 1, which is also kind of not possible. So you decide to, minus 1 from this, and then you get -1, and then you have 2 basically, and basically, sorry, color codes. So you have 2, and then 2 minus 1, which gives you 1 basically. And then you have -1 minus 1. This is not possible, so you decide to take this out. Oh, the color is going a mess. So here you decide to take this out, right? And what do you get is you get basically you get a 2 here, 2 is here, and then you have a 0 here, right? And then you have 2 minus 1 minus 1, which now gives you 0. Gives you 0. And then you have 0 minus 1. This is not possible, so you decide to borrow 1 from here, and then here is left with -1, and here is adding 2 to it, and so you have 2 minus 1, which is basically 1. A lot of color errors. So you have 1, and then you have -1, which you can't bring down, and then you have to borrow 1 again here. And so here you have a 0 basically, and then you take 2 to this place, you have 0 coming here, and then at the end of the day you have your 2 minus 1, which gives you 2, which gives you 1, sorry. So basically this is the methodology of subtracting binary numbers, and yeah, so basically we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.